Welcome back, children. So coordination in animals is brought about by the nervous system as well as by the endocrine glands, which brings about chemical coordination with the help of hormones. Now, hormones are chemical substances which are produced by endocrine glands in very small quantity. Its effect on the body is great. Now, in the absence of these hormones, the body will not be able to get information as it gets. The whole body responds to stimuli, whether it is external or internal, by two ways. One is by electrical impulse, which initiates from the brain and the spinal cord. And next is chemical coordination, which is the hormones secreted by the endocrine glands. In the absence of these hormones, the body will not be able to get such a wide range of informations, both from external as well as to the internal system. So it is a great advantage for our body to have this second set of information system, which is chemical coordination by hormones secreted by the endocrine glands. So the wide range of information and transmission which we adhere to is because of both the nervous system as well as the chemical coordination by the endocrine glands with the help of hormones. There are some basic characteristics of these hormones which are found in animals. I have written them for you. Characteristics of animal hormones. Hormones are different compounds which can be proteinaceous in nature, means they are proteins, or they are steroids. Hormones are chemical messengers which are discharged in the blood by endocrine glands, from where they reach different parts of the body. So hormones are actually secreted by the endocrine glands and they are transported to different parts of the body through the blood, via the blood. A hormone will go to a particular organ and influence its functions. The organ that is influenced by a particular hormone is called the target organ of that hormone. So, once the hormone is released from an endocrine gland, it gets transported through blood and reaches an organ which is called as the target organ. And then the activity of that organ depends upon this message which it receives in the form of a chemical signal, and then it starts working. It coordinates with the nervous system and other systems of the body and starts working. This is how a hormone works in case of animals. Endocrine glands are ductless glands. They don't have any duct to pour their secretion. They secrete their hormones which are secreted directly to the blood, and then the blood transports the hormone to the target organs. Now children, there are many endocrine glands throughout the body. Pituitary gland is there, pineal gland is there, thyroid gland is there, thymus gland is there, parathyroid gland is there. Then in the pancreas, islets of Langerhans is there, adrenal gland is there, then testis, ovary. So many different glands are there. But in your syllabus, all these glands are not there. Few of the glands which are there, we will go through them and we will also study their function. First is pineal gland. Now pineal gland is the smallest gland in the body. It is of the size of a black pepper. You know what is a black pepper? Which you call Golgi. It is located at the floor of the brain near the hypothalamus. Though it is so small, but yet it is called as the master gland or the master of the endocrine orchestra. Means all the endocrine glands are just like the different musicians in a orchestra. And the master of the orchestra, you must have seen, who moves the sticks in different direction, and all other musicians play their instruments accordingly. So the work of pituitary gland is also like that. It is because of the secretion of pituitary gland, all other glands gets influenced. When to start their secretion, when to stop their secretion, all these are controlled by the pituitary gland. Now the pituitary gland has two lobes. One is called anterior lobe, another is called as posterior lobe. Means one is front, another is back. So one of the, though there are many hormones which is not in the syllabus of our study, we will go through the growth hormone which is secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary. This growth hormone or human growth hormone is very important in the life of a man. This regulates growth of the body, elongation of bones, growth of muscles, everything. The size of various organs will increase, everything. So this pituitary gland has two lobes, anterior lobe and posterior lobe. One of the prominent hormone is the growth hormone, which is also called as human growth hormone. Now as I said, hormones are produced in very small quantity. But if this quantity gets overdosed or if underdosed, means if over secretion is there or under secretion is there, means more secretion is there or less secretion is there, then it has drastic result on the body. For example, over secretion or hyper secretion of growth hormone, it causes gigantism. Means the boy will develop into a giant, like a Rakshas, very big in size. He will become 7 feet tall, 7.5 feet tall, 8 feet tall, and that much of width. The width of the body will also increase. So he will become huge. That is called gigantism. That is because of hyper secretion of growth hormone. On the contrary, if there is less secretion, hyposecretion, when the child is developing from a boy to a teenager, if hyposecretion is there, the child will remain a child. That is dwarfism. He will remain a dwarf, Bona, throughout his life. So these are the negative impacts of hypersecretion and hyposecretion. That is why it is said you must have your food in proper quantity, a balanced diet should be taken, sufficient quantity of green vegetables and fruits to be taken, so as to maintain the hormonal balance in the body. You must do regular exercise, right? So if these things are done properly, then there will not be any abnormality in the secretion of hormones by these endocrine glands, right children? So in our next class, we will go through the other hormones which are present in our body. Thank you.